with him. Closes the door before he said, I wanna see you again. But I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? Hey, I'm a wedding man, but never gonna change. And a gypsy song to play, and I was born. Second-hand lighters, headlight dreamers, backseat players, windshield singers, small-town living, love the haters, Main Street beat drop review shakers. They say we're never gonna grow up. Hand-stamped handshakes, love drunk tipsy, a Mapco Coke, whiskey kiss me, strap off a shoulder, feel that fire, embers in her eyes gonna burn me higher. They say we're never gonna grow up. Well, they might be right, cause we're loud, we're alive, and tonight raising something cold up. Thought we would one day, but hey, we ain't, cause one day still ain't showed up.
How are you doing?
Ian Flanigan, look at you. How are you doing, man?
Doing great. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today.
Absolutely. Always dressed so sharply, Ian Flanigan. I mean, look at that denim jacket. Always just like looking fly. Early hours in the morning, you know?
5 days old. You can't tell through the computer, though.
It's amazing. Everything we saw about you in research and all the videos and all your gigs, always looking cool, man. So
Hey,
welcome to the show,
much, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. I never get that. So you already made my day. Thank you.
You know what? It is what it is, man. But what a year you're having, Ian. Of course, for my audience, you know, tremendous artist, songwriter, family man. But what a year you're having, Ian. I mean, obviously your debut album is, you know, you kicked ass at CMA Fest. You're touring. You're opening up for Blake Shelton a few months back in the year. I mean, you are such a hard worker, Ian. I guess the first question is, have you had a chance really to like slow down for a second and kind of like look at the beautiful progress that you've made with, you know?
One, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. There really is no time like that as far as just stopping, but I do try to just take walks as much as possible and just have at least 10 minutes where I'm just grateful and just list all the things that I'm grateful for, just to stay focused. So I take time out every day to just kind of be intentional with all that stuff and try to give my love to it.
Sure. That's great to hear, man. And I got to tell you, Ian, the most funny thing to us, I mean, when we're looking into your life and the research and all that the past few days, is how many people, starting with The Voice, said, oh my God, look at this guy, came out of nowhere, overnight success. And like, does it make you laugh when you hear this stuff? Like, because you've been playing since you were like, 11 years old, you know?
Oh yeah, there's a real saying in Nashville. They're like the 12-year overnight success. So it's
Right.
So yeah, my thing is, the day you find out about something is the first day you ever knew it. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm just grateful to have a platform where I can, reach more people, because that independent artist, that's all we're trying to do. So for me, yeah, I've been doing this my entire life, and the fact that whenever people want to be introduced to it in a good way and they like it, I'm happy.
Absolutely. And I mean, all the songs, we got a chance to preview the album. It's great, but let me ask you about one of the songs, Under a Southern Sky. Really great
Yes.
single, came out recently. We are recording this in late summer. It just takes us listening to some of that wonderful kind of like vibes, those Southern memories, if you will. Take us to, Saugerties, New York. What memories do you carry with you from like, late summer, school start, Labor Day? Like, what do you think about this time,
When I think about it, I definitely think about, bonfires. My buddies and I, we just spend our time having fires in the woods and grilling, cooking food out there. That's my thing. My thing is just getting out in the middle of nowhere, cooking some food, having a fire. And for me, that's like home for me. That's all I'm looking for. So it's pretty simple, but that's kind of stuff, just 4th of July type deals, small town, home stuff, back roads that make you feel good. And I just got to go back home for a show, and I was just driving up to where I used to fish, and just missed it. It makes anything that makes you reminisce about those good days is a good song, man.
How is that, Ian, when you go back and, the same Johns where you were, 10 years ago, before you were married, before you were like a different person? Like,
Oh yeah,
is that like a powerful feeling, to be back in those waters?
it is. It's really weird at times because things have changed a little bit, but I go back and I see where I started out and some of the bars that I played. And, I'm just so grateful for my hometown and all the support. I go back and then, the shows are always really full and sold out, and people are just so eager to come and celebrate and give their love. So I just see, when you go back and you see the places where you came to be who you are, it's always very humbling.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me ask you, obviously, you keep an eye on life's bigger picture, like you've always done that, and you do it with your music, and it's really inspiring. But you're celebrating 5 years of sobriety, and you're always about giving back. Secret to Living is giving with Hope Rocks, and for my audience that doesn't know, it's a New York organization that supports people with addiction, depression, and all that stuff. But let me ask you a little bit about your journey, Ian. What was, you've talked openly about, your addiction to alcohol or whatever, but
Oh yeah.
what was like the breakthrough moment, man? What was like the moment where like really everything clicked for you and you said, this is no longer a should, this is a must?
With getting sober. Yeah. I started off really at 17, 18 years old playing in dive bars down in Orlando. And, I came up in a different generation where a lot of the guys were just living in one state, playing as many times as they can for a year, and then moving to a different part of the country to grow themselves as an independent artist. And the way I came up was like, you play 100 shows in one place and then keep moving and just do it forever. And, when you're young and you get paid in alcohol half the time,
Yeah,
it's a recipe to like, have a really difficult later 20s. And the amount that I would normally drink was just not normal, and I didn't really realize that for so long because the company I kept and the kind of crowds that I was in, it was very normal. So when normal becomes destructive to your own career, that's when you got to make a change. And for me, I had a series of unfortunate events, you could say, where I happened to get a few different outstanding tickets, and
sure.
I was working 3 jobs just to pay off like legal fees and all that stuff.
So it's like a DUI of sorts, basically.
Well, I've had a couple of those, and then I basically had like disorderly conducts down in Georgia. And
Gotcha.
across, just different kinds of things that I got wrapped up into as a young man, whether it's bar fights or, any kind of thing like that. I try to keep it PG, but because I'm raising a kid too, and the main thing is I look back at my life and we were just reckless, like I was not in a good spot. And when you're not living for much except for getting paid in drinks, it kind of demoralizes your value as a person. And I think that for so long, especially since I came into it from a teenager, you don't actually know a different life. Like now I look back at, 33, raising a kid and all these different chapters of life. And of course, hindsight's 2020, you could be like, well, you should not have gone there. But the thing is, when you're a kid and you're growing up in it, you don't have that perspective. So for me, my normal was just a little bit insane, and went on for years and years and years. And there was just a point in my life where I had checked myself into a rehab, and I got sober for about 100 days, and I relapsed and had a really bad situation. And then I checked myself into another detox, and there was just something about that upstate detox place where I was like, man, I'm done. I honestly, I left that building. I never had a drink ever again.
Amazing.
And and music is kind of something that brought me into it. And I was never pursuing like this rock and roll lifestyle. It really wasn't. It's just, you make no money, you do labor jobs to fuel your passion, you get paid in booze at night. It's just a easy equation for me. Sure. And towards getting sober, I did it with a friend, and a lot of intentional work. It took a long time, and that's where, for me, I'm just one of those people that it was better for me to live like that. And now I have a brand new you know, and I'm actually going on almost 7 years sober. But
Amazing.
for me, I have a different perspective of music and a different perspective of just living in health. I didn't have that. I didn't know about it. And, you know, now looking back, I have nothing but love. Like music, I just put all myself into music and guitar and just learning and my family. And that was
Yeah.
enough to kind of build up hope and get me out of that dark place. And that's
Absolutely.
why I want to try to pass it on as much as I can.
And you are, you know, I mean, you're a great example that the comeback is always better than the setback. You know, it's,
That's right.
you know, you're a wonderful, inspiring story, and this is part of your music. So it's cool to talk about it now that we're on this side. So congratulations on that.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, no, and I definitely love talking about it because I've learned, you know, you can't keep it unless you give it away. And there's so many people, you know, everybody wants to have this image where it's just perfect and everything's great. And that's not life. You know, life is brutal sometimes. And sometimes
Absolutely.
we're our worst enemies. So there's a ton of people out there going through it right now. And that's where I'm
Absolutely.
sending all
Absolutely.
our love to them.
Well, Ian, you're being so good with your time, and I think there's a rumor that you may, I don't know if it's confirmed, that you may play a song for us. I don't know if it's true or not.
Oh, I could play a song. I just
Okay.
woke up.
But okay, so you weren't, we knew that it had slipped through the cracks, damn publicist. But let me ask you on a lighter note before you, well, you interiorized that, like that news, that breaking news for you, that, you know, like the way that you're promoting on social media, it's so fun. On a lighter note, like with Camilla, right? Like the
Oh,
way
thanks,
that you did,
man.
yeah, like the way you promoted your upcoming album. You know, you guys are doing like these great productions, you know, with your stepdaughter and all, like just beautiful thing. Do you enjoy social media, Ian? I know a lot of the creators here in Nashville, they don't like it because it takes so much time and all that, but do you enjoy it?
I am finding a way in my life to enjoy it. I think everything is perspective. There's not one thing in this life that isn't that can't be turned into a positive outlook, you know, if you try. I mean, there's certain things, but yeah, social media takes up a lot of time. Artists, especially myself, I didn't even have a Facebook or anything until like 7 years ago. I didn't do it. I did MySpace back when I was a kid, and like I'm 32 now.
The good days.
So yeah, man, it took me a long time to get used to doing the whole computer social media thing. I was really kind of off the grid for a minute. And now I'm learning to love it, man. I know it's part of our journey as creatives. We have to do it. It's not like it used to be. You can't just tour forever into oblivion. It's a great way to connect with a million people. You just got to find your voice in it, you know? And I think I'm trying to find mine and have fun with it, because I don't want to look back in 20 years and just see a painstaking like chronicle list of 1,000 videos that I felt forced to make. It's like I'm just trying to learn to love it, you know. But I totally get why musicians don't like it. It's not necessarily intuitive with the other part of it, which is we write music for like 10 hours a day, and then
Sure.
to take you away from that for a couple hours, it really is a bump in the road when it comes to certain parts of the
That's
process.
what I was talking to someone the other day. You know, it's like creating like a good quality TikTok or whatever is the same amount of time you can create a good verse or a good line. You know. It's
Oh yeah, and I mean that is not lost on us. It's balance. Like everything's just got to be balanced, and that's what I've been trying to find out in my life, sobriety, whatever it is. It's just, you know, if you do only TikTok, you're not going to have a great live show. If you don't
Exactly.
work on your live show and you have no TikTok, you're not going to have any live shows. So it's kind of like you balance it and try to love every bit of it.
Well, Ian Flanigan, you've said it all. What a great conversation, man. What a great guy. Would love if you can take us away with a song, but we've really enjoyed the time today, man.
Sure. I'll play you one of the title tracks, the title track to the new record. It's called Strong.
Sounds good.
Used to be a double whiskey in a glass. Used to be a 350 gunning fast. Used to be the will of a young man all alone against the world. Used to be a whole lot of things up until the day I met you, girl. Now I know strong is a woman who could love me like you do. Put up with the things I put you through. Let me be the man I wanna be. Stubborn, foolish, wild and free. After all the crazy things I've done, after every chance you had to run, still right by my side even when I'm wrong. 'Cause of you, baby, now I know strong. When I see your smile, I can't believe I never wore my heart out on my sleeve. I used to think I was supposed to hide all the love I got behind the wall. Didn't know a damn thing at all. Strong is a woman who could love me like you do. Put up with the things I put you through. Let me be the man I wanna be. Stubborn, foolish, wild and free. After all the crazy things I've done, after every chance you had to run, still right by my side even when I'm wrong. 'Cause of you, baby, now I know strong is the way you lift me up when the nights are long and the days are tough. It all goes away in a single touch. Strong is a woman who could love me like you do. Put up with the things I put you through. Let me be the man I wanna be. Stubborn, foolish, wild and free. After all the crazy things I've done, after every chance you had to run, still right by my side even when I'm wrong. 'Cause of you, baby, now I know strong. Now I know strong. Now I know. 'Cause of you, baby, now I know strong.
Unbelievable. Early in the
Thanks,
morning.
man.
The day is downhill from here, Ian Flanigan. Thank you
No,
so much,
man.
man.
Thank
That
you
was
so
awesome.
much for your time, man. I appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
I appreciate you. And I hope we cross paths in Nashville soon.
Anytime, man.
Absolutely. Take care.